Hi, this is Chester. Are you familiar with the weaving? I mean the weaving in the highway design, not the weaving on the fabric, the textile. These are typical examples of the weaving conditions. There's type A, type B, and type C. How was it when you go through the weaving interchange? As shown here, weaving causes disruption to traffic flow and can be cause of severe congestion and collisions. When I lived in Ontario, Canada, in my memory, if I'm correct, there are only a few interchanges with the weaving conditions. Here's one. This interchange on Highway 401. This is a typical global leaf interchange. However, in Korea, South Korea, where I live now, there are so many weaving interchanges. This document says, in the expressway only, expressway or highway, there are 56 weaving sectors. That's a lot. It does not include the regional route. When you go through the weaving, it was not that difficult to drive or it was not that dangerous as long as the weaving distance is enough. However, in Korea, South Korea, it is very tough or dangerous to go through. Let's take a look at one example. This is a Daejeo Junction. It's situated west of the Busan city. On the left upper corner, you can see the highway number 10, Namhae Expressway. And from the north to south, highway 55, Jungang Expressway. In Daejeo Junction, to join the highway 55 from the highway 10, you have to follow this ramp. For a better understanding, I drew the Daejeo Junction. From the left to right, highway 55. The left hand side, you can see the ramp from the highway 10. There are 3 lanes in highway 55 before merging with highway 10. The 3 lane becomes 4 lanes after the merging, and then suddenly only 2 lanes, lane 1 and lane 2, go through the highway 55. Lane number 3 and number 4, therefore the exit. Any driver from highway 10 want to join the highway 55, he or she has to change the 2 lanes, okay, like this. First change and the second change, at least 2 changes. The problem is the distance is very short, 150 meters from the cone to cone. In my first experience when going through the Daejeo Junction, I was just shocked. What the heck? Is it road? Is it highway? Very, very dangerous. The authority, highway authority, they realized the problem and then they erased the chevron marking on the Gore cone section here. It's about 50 meters. So now the weaving distance is about 200 meters. So I was wondering, what makes the problem? The first step was checking the manual. This manual is published by the Department of Transportation. It covers the concepts about how to design the route. On the page 95 of this manual, it says about the weaving. Diagram shows the weaving distance. And up here, it says that the minimum distance of weaving is 150 meters. I think that's the reason why they built the Daejeo Junction weaving section as 150 meters. Once the authority realized the problem, they extended to 200 meters. Even though this is 200 meters, it's not enough. A lot of traffic going through the Highway 55, they are heavy trucks. And 200 meters is not that enough. So I asked the Google, what's the proper distance? Google AI's answer was this. The two-lane weaving scenario, the recommended weaving distance ranges from 1,400 feet to 3,500 feet, 200 to 400 vehicles per hour. Let's check the traffic volume here. This is government data about traffic volume. And here, 중앙고속도로 on the Busan city. And down here, it also says 중앙고속도로 on the Busan area. This is a total number. Weekday, whole day number, 7 to 9 a.m., 6 to 8 p.m., 8 a.m., 9 p.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. As you can see, the numbers are pretty high. The 2-hour data, let's divide by 2. That means more than 400 per hour. The traffic volume passing through the Daejeo Junction is likely more than 400 vehicles per hour. It also says some studies suggest that 1,000 feet is sufficient for ingress, while the 1,400 feet is recommended for ingress. Anyway, let's take the number 1,000 feet. That's almost same as 300 meters. How was it? 300 meters and originally 150 meters. That's only half. Okay, let's take the number 200. How much is it? Only 2/3. Isn't it great? However, that's not the end. There's more story, even worse. In Daejeo Junction, there is no lane balance. On the Highway 55, 3 lanes, and then becomes 4 lanes. And then only 2 lanes go through. Let's take a look at the lane balance. This is from the TAC manual. Let's take a look at this one. 3 lanes on Highway 55 and 1 merging lane, then becomes 4 lanes, same as Daejeo Junction. This is okay. They follow the lane balance on the merging. What about diversion? To continue with the lane balance concept, the Highway 55 should have 3 lanes with the 2 exit lanes. What about Daejeo Junction? Do they have 3 through lanes? Of course not. In this situation, to lane change the weaving with the no lane balance, how many meters or feet of the weaving distance is required? I'm very curious about this. As a non-professional road designer or engineer, I'm just a retired pilot. If anyone knows that answer, please leave your message. I really appreciate it.